subject to scrutiny here. And I figured I'd do a giant video. Just to kind of go over some things. My son had asked me a question. And I thought I'd kind of go over it with him. There's a lot of good evidence to support real life giants. I mean, you can see these photos here. This is a real famous one. This guy right here in the middle is just under 6 foot tall. So those guys got to be 9 feet tall. And then you got these older ones here. And look at this guy. He's wearing the fish hat, man. He's wearing the old Sumerian hat. The Pope wears it too. But they found these ancient skeletons like this one right here. Red-headed, wavy-haired, perhaps white race in America thousands of years before the Indians or even the cliff dwellers. Whatever the hell the cliff dwellers are. But yeah, I mean, there's these stories of people in Ecuador and down in southern South America that have all kinds of museums with these giant skeletons in them. Here's one. Look at that. And that's real. That's not like the dinosaur shit you'll get. Carefully made fakes. That's a real skeleton. That's a complete skeleton. Look how big that is. But I'm trying to answer my son, like, are giants real? And, I mean, look at this one. People say, oh, this isn't evidence, but, I mean, there are hundreds. I've already kind of watched a bunch of videos and stuff, and I'm convinced. And then here's giants in museums. This is what we want here. Get that one to load. There we go. Look at that. A regular human femur versus a 47-inch femur. Oh, wow. Look at that. And they've never debunked it. I've actually looked into that one. But some of these are like, I think this one's in like Argentina or Ecuador or some crap. Nephilim Anunnaki. That's where I was going to go next. But I think I'm going to go to the Nephilim. Because these are really interesting. Like, look at this. And they found all kinds of weird skeletons and skulls. And they're pushing that towards aliens, but I'm pushing more towards the demon theory more than aliens. I mean, this is where you get all the old stories of like all the Greek ones of the half man, half gods. I mean, they mention it right there. Genesis. If you follow my channel, you know that I use the Bible for a lot of research, and there is a lot of truth in it, whether you follow the religion or not. I personally don't believe that that's 100% truth and that the names aren't different, but I believe it's based off of a general story. Which brings me to, well, if those are fake, then what about these? The proliferation of fake Chinese fossils. Right here. In 1999, highly recognized scientists, along with National Geographic magazine, presented an amazing new discovery of a feathered dinosaur discovered in the Liaoning province of China. The bird with a dinosaur's tail was named Archaeoraptor. A year later, it was found to be a clever fake. And there's a couple of different instances of these becoming fake. And you can look up the origin of dinosaurs, the real history of dinosaurs. They weren't found till a little after the Big Bang Theory came out. So if there really were everywhere, and if you'd ask why, look at the prices on some of these teeth. And these teeth, to me, don't look like dinosaur teeth. I mean, look at that. It looks like a smashed up, stained up bull's horn, or maybe a sperm whale tooth. That looks like a sperm whale tooth. They grind the sides and say they're serrated. $1,500 for that. Looks like a fucking rock. This one's $600. Pardon my language, but $400. So if you think there's not money to be made off this $1,800 for that tooth, I personally don't think that they're real. And let's see here. And there's a lot of good videos. I personally would say do Eric Dubé if you're going to look up the dinosaur hoax. He lays it out way better than I ever could. And then that brings me to, well, if that's not right, then what other truths are there? And what about this? Allegedly where they found Noah's Ark on the History Channel. And people are like, oh, it's the History Channel. It's got to be real. I don't think that they wouldn't tell us this. I think they would. Just to see how blind and deaf people are. Well, there could have been an ark and a flood. I mean, that could have happened. Okay, Noah's Ark confirms. This is Noah's Ark. Well, that wasn't real. Okay, well, if that wasn't real, then what about this one? This is a really good article right here. Basically, I mean, you could look this up. Just look up Fingerprints of Creation by Dr. Robert Gentry. But basically, the primordial rocks that they were trying to say took millions of years to cool and harden were actually formed and cooled within minutes because it had these polonium radio halos that they have a fleeting existence, which means I think he said like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes max. But that means that the bedrock, the granites of the entire Earth, because he's found these all over the Earth, had to have been heated up, formed, and cooled within 5 or 10 minutes. Basically proving that creationism is fact. But, I mean, I'm sure there's skeptics, but he was published in like 12 different journals. He actually went to court with this testimony. So, I mean, it's a really interesting story if you want to research it. But subject to scrutiny. Like, share, subscribe.